What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? My name is Brady McGrath, and as always, I am joined with my co-hosts Cam Garrity and Bobby McBroom. Bobby, how are we feeling today?
Fantastic, man. I'll just say that. I'll just leave it at
Fantastic.
that. I'll leave it at that.
Wonderful. Cam,
Fantastic.
Cam, how are we feeling today?
Oh, I am feeling huge.
Huge.
Real quick, can I just say something?
Huge.
This
Yeah.
podcast is brought to you by
Woo!
Sunnyside Sports and more. Collectibles, autograph, anything sports related, get it there.
He
With
doesn't.
the
He doesn't go.
Massachusetts.
He doesn't go get your. He goes
Yeah, it's a-
collectibles.
Boom!
Straight to the point, baby.
Exactly.
Check them out. Facebook, you know the deal.
Yeah. So
That's
as we're kind of talking right now, we got the Bruins playing right now. Nick
Tied
Ritchie just
1-1.
scored. It's 1-1.
Wait, McAvoy just scored?
No, I said Nick Ritchie scored.
Oh, whew.
Still a bad hockey player. I don't care.
Dude, all right,
he's
can we
growing
just
on me a little bit.
We're gonna get going. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I love the guy. Cam and I were talking about it before you came on, Brady. Like, I knew you still don't like him, but he's grown on me.
I
Like,
said he grew on
he's-
me. I think
He's
I
like
was mad.
Lucic.
I was mad because I think he was playing very dirty in the playoffs, I thought, and I think that was him just trying to earn his spot, and he knew we needed physicality and was just going out there and kind of did a little too much. But now,
Like Martian a couple years ago.
yeah, he's toned it back a little bit. I'm starting to respect him a little bit. It's going to take me the entire season to actually like him as a Bruin. I still have my worries about him. I still don't think he's the best player. I'd rather someone else, but he is growing on me.
Definitely not growing on me. I can tell you that much. I
Really?
hate him so much.
Damn.
Dude, I'm just gonna say it now. It's like he's playing hot and he's doing great, but it's like the same thing where you say to like a star player, where it's like, oh, they can't keep this up.
Yeah.
It's like, and he's not.
Yeah, I know,
I don't
but
think he's gonna be able to keep it up. He's doing great. I'm not gonna be mad that he's doing great.
remember who he's playing with, right? Like
So I
on
had
that
this
power
conversation
play.
with somebody before, is that they also dislike him, but we're not going to be mad that he's doing well. Like, I'm not going to spite
That's true.
him
Yeah.
for doing well. I just still think that sooner or later, big dumb idiot, just like I said, hey, here we go. Just like I said with Josh Allen, big dumb idiot Josh Allen's going to show up, and then they got smoked because he was big dumb idiot Josh Allen. Then big dumb idiot Nick Ritchie's going to do something real stupid later on down the line that can hurt the Bruins. So I'm just saying.
Also,
Brady, just a heads up. I think your mic not be working. It sounds like it's coming out of your PC.
oh, it's above.
What do you mean?
Oh, I know.
Talk into your mic.
Hello?
I can hear him.
Tap the mic. Okay. Yeah, it's not making any sounds when you're tapping it. But anyway, while you work on that and figure that
So
out,
I was gonna say, Jack Stadnika's playing really well at the center position, huh? He's a naturally born center.
yeah, I mean, I think we
Dude,
said
that's
it. We
because
said it in the
Krejci's
beginning of the
out.
year. We said in the beginning of the year that kid needs to get the most minutes out of any.
Is
of
it
the
better
young guys.
now?
Yes, 100%. That it sounded like it was coming out of your computer. That's why I was like,
I didn't notice. I
it
don't notice
sounded
those
like your
things.
headphones, like whatever your headphone mic or something. It was coming
That's
out
weird.
of. It sounds good now, though. Glad you
Yeah, I
fixed
fixed
that.
it.
But the thing I have with the Bruins, one of the biggest things, and speaking of young players right now, is Bruce Cassidy, of how he's managed all of these injuries so far, managed the goaltending matchups, managed the line combinations, and giving these young players minutes. I want to say, he should win Coach of the Year.
Again.
And I think it's clear, but it's really clear that we've got a great coach. And we lose some of our key players and we don't even miss a beat. And I think that comes down to coaching. And we're going to talk about what that actually means when we get to the Celtics, because for comparison, we'll go in more in depth in that. But for comparison, it's why you notice that Brad Stevens isn't a good coach, because when we're missing our key component players, we look like we're a completely different team. So I give a lot of credit to Bruce Cassidy. I think he is a fantastic coach. And I think the way that we've been managing this season so far, I'm going to come out and say it. This is a cup run right now. We can end
Always
up
a
playing.
cup run.
We can
Always, yeah,
but
exactly
this is
what
a
Brady
legitimate cup run. This is this should
So
be
was
one
last
It's
of
year.
the-
always a legitimate cup run. Last year was a legitimate cup run. The year
Yeah.
before we went to the cup and lost with a legitimate
No, this
cup
is
run.
this is when I mean legit. This should be ours, or I'll
Here's
be
what I
shocked.
think.
That's
I
what it
think
was last year,
Bruce
too.
deserves it. Bruce Cassidy, they need to
does.
win it for him.
He does.
And all right, listen to this. David Pasternak in the past 82 games. Did you guys see this?
I know
59 goals.
Yeah, he's this guy. Well, he's
113 points.
Yeah.
Unreal. Unbelievable.
And this is why we got to keep this man locked up, and we got to actually build a line combination around him, because eventually, that's why I'm happy with Studnicka and the way he's playing at center.
Yep.
Because eventually,
Coyle,
Bergeron,
he's still young.
Yeah, but eventually Bergeron and guys like that are not going to be here.
How do you guys feel about Carlo getting the A outside? Because Krejci was out. I loved it, dude.
Man,
he's a great defenseman. He's been playing so well.
I think it's a good way to see like how they handle the leadership
and
from the coach.
he handled it very well.
You know, I know it's just a symbol, but the coach being like, "Hey, have the A, kid."
Outside,
right?
Outside.
And he gets it, and I think he, it's good to know. I think that's good for the locker room, right? Too, like a lot of morale, and be like, hey, what's up? Like, in the locker room, they're like, hey, like you're our guy tonight. You're one of the alternates. I think that's like big for someone like Carlo, and especially his development. Because how old is he now in this year? Didn't he just? What is he? 22, 23?
Look it up. Hold on.
I forget his age. I think he's
been in his fifth year now.
It's 4 years. But some
Was
he
he
like still developing.
He's developed very well
24 years old.
Yeah.
As that defenseman. That's
25 in November.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Stay-at-home guy.
He got older. I was like, he changed.
As did everybody else.
Yeah. But you know what I mean. I think that's good for his development alone. I really think, honestly, the biggest thing when you have a good coach like this, where development comes into play, is you notice that younger players develop better under a better coach in a better system, because they're able to put them in their moment so that they can thrive and actually get that confidence. Because a lot of the times development in any of those sports really comes down to confidence. And it comes into like how confident you are and how confident the team is in you, and like the front office, right? Like how many times do you see pro players that like we talk about in other sports, and they just don't have a good system around them, and people literally say like, well, it's not his fault, he doesn't have anybody around him, like you get him some help, he'll be good. Like a perfect example, like Carson Wentz, right? Like I think he can have a better chance of developing with Frank Reich in
They're
Indy.
literally going to go to the Super Bowl next year. I'm counting it now.
Against who?
I'm saying it now that the Indianapolis Colts will either be in the Super Bowl or they'll lose the AFC Championship.
I can't wait till we get. This is what I'm going to say, Brady. I'm agreeing with you now that I think they will be a solid playoff team and a good team. I am not ready to make any NFL playoff predictions until free agency's over. I don't care about the draft, because you really can't predict like who's going to be better because of the draft. But like as second free agency's over and the draft begins, that's when I'm making my prediction. Anyway, I do want to talk a little bit about the Celtics, because we did mention.
Before we go to the Celtics, I have one thing that I do want to say.
Okay.
About the Bruins. One thing that stands out to me in the Bruins is you look at their normal losses that they have.
Yep.
And then you look at the teams that they've lost to in overtime, other than like the Capitals and some of the others, is they're not losing to good teams. I mean, they're losing to not good teams. So we also need to think about that. Like, it's great they're beating it's great. Well, I mean, they're only
that whole division's good though.
Okay, but the 2 out of our 3 regular losses are to the Devils. That's
but you also said it there. You said 2 out of the how many regular losses?
3.
Only 3, right? So like.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No. I'm not.
That's
what
I mean. No, I'm not saying you're hating. I'm not saying you're hating. I'm just saying like,
that the
put
Bruins,
it in perspective.
Oh yeah.
If they don't make the playoffs, they won't be an issue.
Nah, but I'm just saying that like you put that into perspective, that it's like that we've lost to the not so great teams, right? And then you have to just think about it, like we lost to the Devils, right? Who else did we lose to? It took us.
No. Islanders.
We lost to we lost to the Devils. We lost the Devils twice.
Yes.
We lost to the Islanders. Oh yeah, so it was the Devils twice and the Islanders. Yeah. And then we had to go to the Rangers overtime.
Yeah, but they're a good team. Well, not anymore because Panarin's gone.
So. Yeah.
Panarin's gone.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, we're beating the teams. We're beating good teams, which is huge. But it's like I feel like they don't put the burners on when they're playing the bad.
It's kind of
teams.
like the Celtics when we were talking about in previous, where there's like remember Jeff Green, like he can never hit his potential because he dropped like 45 against the best teams in the like league, and then would go like 6 points against like the Bobcats.
Cliffy check. 9 games played, 2 assists, 2 points. So
nice.
We're real proud of him that he almost has more than half the points that he had.
Look, I said this before.
So,
you cannot judge a defensive. If you're not Charlie McAvoy or Brent Burns or whatever, Drew Doughty, you cannot judge a defenseman's growth in points.
I will judge him.
You have to judge
because
him.
You told me he was going to be our next tour recruit.
No, Grizzly was.
No,
because I said Grizzly.
No. Yeah, you told me that Connor Clifton could be our next tour recruit.
I said could be.
It could be, exactly.
But Zabril, I'll give him credit. Look, I'll give Zabril credit.
I'm just checking.
Zabril's playing very well.
I'm just making sure that Cliffy is sitting up to the expectations to be our next tour recruit. So I'm just saying.
Ooh.
For me, he is. For me, he is. Because look at the guys in front of him right now.
You said it again. You're locking it in for me.
I am.
The Cliffy check is coming every single week, like I said.
I know. Hey, 2 points is better than no points.
Yeah, 2 points is better than no points.
Let me say this.
I agree.
Let me say this. His puck handling at Tahoe and in general these last few games.
Yeah, a blowout. Awesome. I agree.
Awesome.
I agree.
He's doing everything right at the blue line.
Blowouts are phenomenal. I agree.
Yeah.
So
in terms of
Vakanainen's playing now. You guys see that? He started playing. Finally. So that good for him. Finally.
About time.
Yeah, and he's playing pretty well. He had an apple the other day in Tahoe.
Yeah.
I mean, they blew him out, but still.
So wait. So you're telling me that Vakanainen had an assist in one of his first games, and then Connor Clifton?
Cliffy had his first goal in his first few games, right? Oh, point.
I don't know, man.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
I'm
gonna look it up while we do the subject.
Bobby, you know what you need to do? You need to counter his Cliffy checks with advanced metric statistics. You need to have your stats when he reads them. Yes, PEMDAS. Anyway, but moving on to the Celtics, I kind of want to go on a little tangent right here about 2 things. I said before on this podcast that I think after the Eastern Conference Finals, I said that Brad Stevens has on thin ice and has about 1 to maybe 2 years left before he's got to go. Right? Mm-hmm. Because you got to think he is a good coach at times. He has done a lot of good things. It's not like he's awful, but you have to remember we're the Boston Celtics and we haven't won a championship in 36 years.
Celtics are the balls.
We've won 1 championship in 36 years. Sorry. Not haven't won. I'm saying, you know what I mean? 1 in 36 years for a team considered the title town, right? Now the Lakers have tied us. They've caught up to us, right? And now you're looking at it this way, where I think he is the issue. Some of his his rotations have been god-awful, right? You're playing Grant Williams at the 5 when the other team has big men out there and we're getting demolished. Then you put our big men out there and they have their quick, small lineups and they're shooting threes in our face. And going over to my next big issue right now is the Tatum and Brown are playing like Carmelo and playing like Chicago Jimmy Butler.
I'd like to heavily disagree on that.
I think and this is not wrong because those are two good players. Fight. Listen, before you get to what I'm saying, I want to hear my point to be heard out. Is that statistically speaking, that is how they are playing. Their defensive intensity and what they are doing as distributors has been awful. And I think that with Tatum and Brown, their potential, their ceilings, right, which we've all heard from comparisons. I'm not saying they are these players, but it's that type of player. Is a Kobe, is a Kawhi, right? A good two-way defender like Kawhi, two-way player like Kawhi is Jaylen Brown, and a very good scorer and somebody who can dominate. The thing is with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, when you're on the court, when you're watching them play on the court, there is no presence there outside of them being an ISO ball, taking the ball. There is no distribution. There's no defensive intensity at all. And I think most of that is to blame on Brad Stevens, and the rest of it's to blame on Danny Ainge for not giving them the roster. But at the same time, when those are your max contract players, you need to expect more out of those said players. And I think
the guys around them are the bigger issue.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
The guys around them are the biggest issue, but when's the last time a team with 2 All-Stars and a former All-Star has missed the playoffs?
they're so bad
But
around him.
exactly everything
They're
around
so
them.
bad.
Because think about it this
It
way.
doesn't
Think
matter,
about it
though,
this
but
way.
you look at those
But
other
it-
teams.
It
but
does
does
matter. It's a
because-
15
Because
guy
you just
team.
said that
Gabe.
they're not distributing the ball. They're not properly distributing
Right.
the ball, and that's shown on the assist stat, correct?
No, it's not. I'm saying it doesn't have to be primary assist. You
Okay.
watch them play. The ball is in their hands 90% of the time. They're
So
going
who are they gonna
ISO.
give it to?
Because who they have to give it to? Did you see there was a thing? So I hate quoting these guys because I hate them with all my ability. Felger and Maz.
Oh my God, me too.
But they made a really good point that I agreed with. They were talking about how how Jaylen Brown was interviewed last week after the first loss to the Hawks.
Which we shouldn't be losing twice to the Hawks.
Exactly, but then
Shouldn't be losing
they
once.
said something about how they're like, oh, like the distributing of the ball, like you're passing the ball a lot tonight. How do you feel about that? And then Felger and Maz cut to sound clips of Brown to Williams and a miss, Brown to Tatum and a miss, Brown to Walker and a miss, Brown to Tatum to this person and a miss. So it's not that they're trying to distribute the ball, but then the problem is when they can't distribute the ball, they have to do it all by themselves.
And everybody knows. The whole team knows.
Tatum's still hurt. Tatum's still going down from COVID. That's hurting him a lot, and he's still going out and trying to be our best player. Jaylen Brown's doing everything he physically can.
I'm not saying they're playing
to
bad.
be that.
I'm just saying they need to take that to the next level.
But they're attempting
to
to take it to the next level, and
yeah,
nobody
but
around them is
attempting
working.
doesn't count. The thing is
But
like
the
they're either doing it or
problem
they're not.
It can't be their fault if Brad Stevens.
I'm not saying it's their fault. My blame list right now is number 1 is Brad Stevens, and then number 2 Danny Ainge. That's my blame list. And even
I wouldn't blame
when
Danny.
I say Danny Ainge for my blame list, I'm more blaming the actual market of the NBA. It's not even because there's no one he can get. Right, so like I blame it on like the current. What I should say is I blame it on Brad Stevens first, and then how the roster
and the NBA economy. That's the better way to put it.
And I blame it on how the roster had to have been constructed this year, right? But you look at these players, and I understand that. And for a lot of people being like, I love Marcus Smart, don't want to trade him, and you have all these people like Billy saying Marcus Smart's awful, he should be traded. This is the point where I say, as much as I would rather put up with Marcus Smart shooting 6 threes a night. With the way he actually distributes that offense, it makes everything flow with Tatum and Brown on offense, and also defensively brings that intensity in that locker room. Because I'm going to put it this way, mostly Brad Stevens' fault. I think this team is fucking soft. I think they are very, very soft, and they don't have an alpha on this.
And then out of the players that try to play hard, i.e. Daniel Tice and even Grant Williams. The problem is that they'll get fouls, and then the guys that are actually trying to play tough are the ones getting taken out of the game.
Right. That's what I mean.
People that can't do it.
Right.
So it's like whatever. I hate Grant Williams' offensive game, but on the defensive side of things, he's a fucking baller. And that's the same exact thing that happened with Marcus Smart when he first came to this team.
Marcus Morris.
They didn't like Marcus Smart's offensive side of the game, but they loved his defensive side, and then the offensive side came. So I'm just saying you can't just say, "Oh,
no, I'm
Grant
not
Williams
giving. I'm not saying Grant Williams is the worst, but I'm sick of seeing Grant a rotation of Williams, Ogilvy, Daniel Tice. Like, at the end of the day, you have to understand that talent wins in the NBA more than any other league, and there's just not enough talent on this team. And the hard part is for Danny Ainge is there's not enough talent available, and because we don't have talent on this team, we don't have assets that people are going to want. We're in a really tough place right now, and that's why, like, I think with the trade exception, they don't need to move that right now. And people are like, trade it for Harrison Barnes, and it's like, guys,
like, why do you want Harrison Barnes?
Right, I'm okay with Harrison Barnes.
One of the greatest pull-offs in NBA history with the contract that he
I'm okay with Harrison Barnes if you're shipping Kemba out and bringing like Harrison Barnes and Buddy Hield back. Like, I'm okay with that.
Oh my God, I would love Buddy Hield.
Right? That's what we need. We need something like that. We need some bench veterans, right? And we need some fucking intensity, right? There's rumors out there that we're interested in bringing Al Horford back. There's rumors out there that we're interested in re-signing Isaiah Thomas and getting rid of like Tremont Waters or someone like that. Please, for the love of God, do that. This team has no heart. And I blame it on Brad Stevens. And I think he is a terrible coach and does not know how to handle a locker room with all-stars, because you've seen it. You've seen Terry Rozier, who wasn't an all-star, but you saw a good player leave. You saw Gordon Hayward get run out of town. You saw Kemba Walker now getting run out of town with his injury. You saw Kyrie. You saw Al Horford. You saw all of these guys. No, but seriously, you saw all these guys run out of town. And the top-tier bench players that were top-tier bench players like Aaron Baines, Marcus Morris, right? You see those guys get run out of town, and that's why nobody wants to come here, because this coach is soft and this team has no intensity, and everybody points fingers at who the issue is in the team, and they're like, Marcus Smart, you shoot too much. And he's like, but why does it matter? I'm scoring 23 points right now, and we're like, you know what I mean? Like, he's commanding the offense. Why does it matter that he shot an extra 3 over Tatum and Brown? I'm not saying he should be every night, but like, that doesn't matter. Like, just go win the game. Be intense. Try to make the winning plays. It shouldn't matter who's getting the shots. That's the fucking issue. And Brad Stevens is terrible with his lineups, and he's terrible managing this locker room. And if they do not make the playoffs this year, I expect him to be fired. He should not get another chance.
So, nice segue. But I have a question. So, who would you hire? Someone in college, a former player?
Evan Turner.
You would hire Evan Turner. What about you?
Hold on, I just got a Bleacher Report alert.
I think I just got the same one.
They asked Brad Stevens about the Celtics slump, and he said, I had a root canal and my identity stolen last week, and those were 2 of my better days in the last 8.
Oh my god.
Which is absolutely hilarious. But here's the thing though. He understands how the team is falling a little bit. And then another thing is, go look at the NBA standings, and right now the Celtics are in 10th, but not by much. 4th place is 15-5.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying that it's like, I don't think that we have to worry about playoffs right now, because we're gonna make it in this weak East, especially when the second half of the season hits. And they're going to have, like, the All-Star break to kind of just, like, breathe. We're going to get Marcus Smart back. Hopefully Tatum can relax. Tatum can get healthy and actually relax himself. And then we're going to get all these guys back. Maybe even at the All-Star break, they might switch it up and start letting Big Bob go after it. You know what I mean? Because Robert Williams is playing great. But again, it's like when he stays out there too long, he looks lost. And then you have to play Tice, and then Tice is one of your only aggressive guys, and then he fouls out.
But at this point, though, I'd rather Robert Williams playing 28 minutes a game and looking lost right now
and getting bullied.
But I'd rather that though, because he has been efficient on the offensive side, which I didn't think he had in his game, first of all. And yes, he does look lost, but the fact that he just needs to figure it out, and I think he needs to figure it out by playing more minutes, not less. I just think that he's that type of player. When you watch him, the more he plays, the easier he learns from those mistakes. And I think you just have to, because where we're at right now, we just have to see if we can catch a spark with any player. And I think we need to just be like, just let him loose, put him out there 28 minutes a game, see if he can catch a spark. And another thing, we need to stop signing point guards in free agency, because point guards do not work across the league when they sign, unless they're like elite, like all-time players, right? As much as I hate Kyrie, like he's an elite all-time player, like he's going to go down as like a great point guard, right? But when we're signing players, and look at all the teams across the board, how many teams that have signed a point guard after, like, when they're like in their 27, 28-year-old, do they fall apart once they hit 30? It's one of the only positions in the NBA that has they get beaten up. They get beaten up a lot, and I think that especially their knees. And I think
only one who hit the formula is CP.
Yeah, that's what I was saying that
Dwayne
to Bobby
Wade
earlier.
too.
But I consider Dwayne Wade more of a shooting guard. But, like, I mean, like, true point guard, like Chris Paul. I said that to Bobby before we got on. I said, name anybody other than Chris Paul who has literally managed to get past 30. Like, even look at Russell Westbrook. He's starting to slow down a little bit, right? You know, like, those guys are starting to slow down. Like, Damian Lillard, right? He's good. He's not at his 30-year-old yet. He's almost there. But that's what I mean. That's an all-time great kind of player, Damian Lillard.
I hope
Steph
he doesn't
Curry,
slow
all-time
down,
great type of player, right? You're looking at those players. But, like, look at the, like, just look at any normal team's starting point guard. They usually disappear after a couple years in the league, after their first contract, and they just become role players. So I think we need to stop giving max money to point guards unless we physically drafted somebody and they're like a De'Aaron Fox, Trey Young, Luka Doncic, like that kind of player. If they're one of those players, yeah, I'm giving them a max contract. But I think after this experiment with Kemba goes, I think we need to just start drafting point guards. And honestly, I really think Smart should be the one out there right now. And I think you got to put I think the ideal starting lineup right now, because of how things have been going, should be Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Tristan Thompson, and Robert Williams. I think that's what you should go with right now, and have Kemba come off the bench to be the bench scoring, because it just isn't working with him right now.
It might fire him up.
And you know what? He can be cardiac Kemba off the bench. He's a team guy. I know he's not going to be pissed. He's making his money. He wants to win a ring. So like he's not like Kyrie where he's going to get pissed with something like that. So I think that could motivate him and give us a little bit of the bench scoring we needed.
But I just think it's like another thing about the Celtics. A big problem is it's another thing that Brad just can't control. It's the butchering of leads.
Yep.
Yeah.
Turnovers.
Especially in the late third quarter.
Dude, that Pelicans game was disgusting.
Yeah.
That was horrible to watch.
Talent,
the Mavericks game was
alone,
horrible
right
to
now,
watch.
we should be the second best team in the East.
That Hawks game was horrible to watch. Like, think about it this way. It's like we just lost to the Mavericks in a buzzer beater, right?
Yep.
We just got blown up by the Hawks. Last week, we beat the Nuggets, arguably one of the best teams in the West.
Yep.
Like, we beat the Raptors, who are top. Like it's tough. We beat the Clippers. Like,
yeah, and that's the thing. It's the inconsistency, and I think where it comes down to is effort. And that's why I say it is like, yeah, statistically, I think Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and all those guys are playing well, but I think it comes down to effort. I think people they're not fully locked in. You can just tell, and I think that has to be with Brad Stevens. I think at the root of the problem is he is just not handling this situation right now. And look, I want him to prove me wrong, right? I'm saying this because I'm a fan of the Celtics. I don't hate these players. I don't want them gone, right? If they change my mind, they change my mind, and I want them to prove me wrong. But I'm sick of sitting here and being like, oh yeah, that's fine. We got two young wings. Like, no, it's not fine. We should be the number one team in the East, running away with the East right now and trying to make it to the NBA Finals. We should be in a position at the trade deadline being like, we need a third piece. Let's go get it. Instead of sitting here, we're like, how the hell do we get this team to turn around? Like, that's not what we should be focusing on. And it's pissing me off because I think the Celtics have a lot of fucking issues that they need to fix. We need to take a quick...
Hold on. I just saw
you want to
fans to return to TD Garden March 29th.
Yeah, you didn't see that?
You didn't see that?
Fuck yeah.
Bruins games are back. It's like, what is it, like 20% or something?
Yeah, the three of us are going to have to go.
100%.
Figure it out.
You guys
We're going to 40 on that's live.
You guys want to do
live.
it? Yeah, our live, dude. I'm 100% down.
Get drunk fans to join.
Hey, wait, when is it? In March?
The 22nd.
We're going the first. I've already had COVID. Let's go.
Yeah, well,
I've been driving Uber since October, and I've been safe, so I don't know.
No, but not joking. Everybody do stay safe, but like,
yeah.
all right. So we are gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk some Celtics trade deadline, and then we're gonna get into the Patriots and their quarterback issue because, believe it or not, NFL free agency is about 2.5 weeks away from today.
Oh boy.
We are getting super close, and the NBA trade deadline, I believe, is also around the same time frame. So we've got a lot of news coming up. We have a lot of potential things. It's not months away. It's coming. So stay tuned. Quick message from Backyard Spice and Thrive Fantasy, and we will be right back. We know the dads love to cook, and we're excited to share our new sponsor, Backyard Spice. Backyard Spice specializes in homemade spices to enhance your grilling or cooking. But it doesn't stop there because you can put this shit on anything. French fries, burgers, chicken, turkey, and honestly, whatever the hell you feel like. And let me tell you, their new flavor, Rub-N Racks, chef's kiss. Their spices are actually handmade, natural, and they taste amazing. Head over to BackyardSpiceCompany.com and use promo code DADS for 15% off your order. Get cooking.
What is up, everybody? It is your favorite dad, Brady, here, telling you about one of his favorite things on the planet. And no, it's not eating. It is sports betting. Our sponsor, Thrive Fantasy, is a daily fantasy sports app for player props. And what's great about their app is that they've eliminated the need to do countless hours of research because they only ask you about the top-tier athletes in the respective field you're looking for. To get started, make sure you sign up using promo code DADS and you will receive an instant match bonus of up to $50 on your first deposit of $20 or more. So let's say you deposit in that $50, you're going to get $50 back, having $100 to bet right on your own here. So make sure you download the Thrive Fantasy app on the Apple App Store or Play Store, or by visiting their website at www.thrivefantasy.com. thrivefantasy.com. Like I said, make sure you sign up with promo code DADS, DADS, and let's sign up and hashtag prop up today.
And we're back!
We're back!
So, boys, we've
He's
got
back.
the NBA
Back
trade
again.
deadline coming up. NBA trade deadline. And we're going to look at the actual thing. It is March 25th for the official date for all of you guys out there that are wondering what is kind of going on.
I'm just trying to be all serious. And me and Bobby are just fucking just go!
I didn't even hear
Crazy.
That's the funny thing.
We were singing in our heads
Just
like
going
while
off,
you were
yeah,
talking.
exactly.
We were like on beat
Just
with little
ham, yeah.
Eminem action there.
Yeah,
I love it. So the trade deadline's coming up, and,
I'm like crying now.
and the real question I have for you guys for the NBA trade deadline is like, what do you actually like genuinely believe? Because we talked about how bad the market is, right? We talked about how like it's going to be super hard for the Celtics to really put anything together. What do you think? Because let's say I'm going to give you this: without trading Kemba, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Rob Williams, like those five, right?
Yep.
And obviously you're not going to trade Tristan Thompson because you just signed him. Anything other than that, what do you think is really out there that's going to match up salary-wise because we're over
Hicks
the
Waters
cap?
and Romy Rome.
I think Roman Reigns.
Kim's on the
The
trade.
tribal chief. Oh, I love the tribal chief. He's my tribal chief. Let bow down.
Romeo Langford.
Head of the table, tribal chief.
I think Romeo Langford, and
Jesus.
to be honest, besides like, I would think like Aaron Nesmith and Romeo Langford are the two like young pieces right now that have upside that people want. Because I don't think the Celtics want to trade Peyton Pritchard. I think they saw too much in him to be like.
Very fast PP is gonna stay forever. So
Yeah, I think honestly, I think he's your next point guard after Kemba. To be honest, I think like he has that. I don't think he's gonna be like an all-star, but I think he could be. Like,
I think he can be.
I think he can be one of those. I think he'd be like a Goran Dragic type all-star, right? Where like they can sneak in a couple of years throughout their career. They're like right on the edge of all-star, but they're.
Do you
very-
guys
I don't know.
think we need?
He's different, man.
He is.
He's really different. Like he
He is.
right now.
He
What
just
he
needs
is doing,
consistency.
What
That's
he
all.
is doing right now. I mean, it kind of sucked because he got hurt.
No, I
but
know, but that's what I mean. Like
was balling
even when he
out.
was balling out, he did have a like. That's just his thing. Like and that's what all rookies and all young players go through. So I
Look
think
what
that's
he did
like
at
his
Oregon.
only
He
flaw.
was balling out.
His only flaw right now is inconsistency, and that's expected from a rookie. And
Now-
I think
And being
I think
too fast. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's very fast.
very fast PP.
Do you guys
Very fast
think
PP.
we need a guard or a forward more?
Forward.
Headed into the draft.
if
Just
you
looking
could-
to the draft. Nothing. We didn't do anything, right?
the
We
trade
don't do
deadline.
anything. at
And the
free
off
agency.
season's coming.
Yeah, we don't do anything, and we just draft comes with the same goddamn team. What do you
that's
go
actually
after?
A really good
Go after a
question.
guard, to be honest.
Yeah. Because I mean, the market's kind of dog, but like the only
Good
The
guards are
only
hard to
guy-
come
that like that's a big name right now that I would definitely want is but Chihuahua's not in the league yet, right? Presta Chihuahua's not in the
by.
league yet.
He is. He's on the Heat.
Oh, he's on the Heat. That's right.
Yeah.
Chihuahua's in the league. What's his name from Luca? Whatever from Iowa. He's like one of the only big men that I'm really thinking
Forwards?
about radar wise. What?
I like. Well,
And man, I said it, dude. I wanted the Celtics to trade up for Wiseman. I know it wasn't going to happen, but there were talks at some point that they wanted to trade Marcus Smart for the pick to get Wiseman.
depending on where
I
we
would've went nuts for
fall,
that.
and say we miss the playoffs or whatever, I wouldn't mind taking Remy Martin. I
Where's
don't
he
know.
from?
Arizona State, the guard.
Oh yes. I wouldn't
He
mind
was
that
the-
either.
Too much. Oh, Pac-12 Bob. Pac-12 Bob. There it is.
I just think, man, if we don't do anything, right? Let's say we just stand pat, we get the 7th seed and we end up whatever. Something happens, we lose, right?
Yep.
That's when I want to use the trade exception, right? I think I want to wait till the offseason more and more I think about it because that's when teams are going to get desperate and that's when stars
That's
are going to be
true.
like, I want out of this team.
That's true.
And I think that's where you can poach somebody, right? Like where you can go and say, hey, I wouldn't really want him, but like Karl Anthony Towns because I think he is a soft
wouldn't.
foot. I think he's soft, to be
We
honest.
could toughen him up. Massachusetts would. You guys would toughen him up.
Yeah,
Winthrop.
I beat him up.
No, but I mean that's the knock on him.
I'd kick Carl Anthony Towns' ass.
I would say for a trade deadline
I hope
move,
he's listening.
I would
Hope
say
he's listening too.
I'm gonna say a trade deadline move that I'd be okay with, which would be out there, was trading our boy Aaron and Romeo Langford. Could be an option, but I think if you just trade some of those bottom of the barrel point guards we have right on the edge of the bench, throw in like a Javonte Green and some draft picks, I think you could entice. I think he's in Sacramento. It's Hassan Whiteside.
I love Javonte Green so much, though.
I think the Celtics should target at the deadline. They should get a couple of pieces, right? But I think one of the main ones they should go after is someone like Hassan Whiteside, right? Lower contract, he's not going to be your starting center, but somebody that like.
But he should be someone's starting center.
He should be.
Yeah.
And
he
think he can give you good, solid minutes. I know he's not the same player he was, but I think he could really fit well with it.
Oh, Cam.
Can you hear me?
Cam.
My microphone.
Yes.
We're
gonna have to interchange.
We're gonna have to restart.
No, I think he's somebody that would fit well with that lineup, and you could put Tristan Thompson next to him at the 4, right? Like you could have a good like that. That's the thing. Tristan Thompson is a beast. Not like a he's nasty kind of beast. I mean like he's like a physical like playoff basketball kind of guy, and you need another big because he can't do it all.
You get to the playoffs with a guy like that. Look, and I also want to throw this out there. I just want to have another Brady was right moment. I've had a lot of those recently. When I said when we got the trade exception, they better go after Rudy Gobert now before Utah.
I said it too.
Disgusting.
I wanted Rudy Gobert.
Now they're the best team in the fucking NBA. I said it. I told everybody. I said, look, they better go after Gobert because Utah about to be scary. And everybody looked at me. Not just you guys. Everybody. All my friends. They all told me I was nuts. They all said that I was crazy that Utah was going to be that good. And now they're.
I'm looking at basically like I just looked at a list right now, and it's basically like all the people that have been talked about being available.
Cam just got wicked loud.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Sorry. I can hear you. You just got wicked loud.
Yeah, it was like it went from here to here.
Ear rate. So I just looked at this is a list of 20 players right now that are probably going to be like the big targets at the deadline. Now this doesn't mean everybody's going to get traded. This doesn't mean they're all available. You know, they're just rumors. But number 1 is Bradley Beal. I think he's a 27. He's 27, superstar in his prime, still with another couple years left on his contract. And, like, I don't know if I would want that here. I don't know if it would work here. Another player on here is Ben Simmons. Is on here. No. We have Michael Porter. Michael Porter Jr. is another one on the table.
I like him.
Zach LaVine. Aaron Gordon. DeMar DeRozan. John Collins. Andre Drummond is another one. Derrick Rose. Lou Williams. Kevin Love. LaMarcus Aldridge. Marvin Bagley, which I would honestly kind of like. I would like Marvin Bagley.
I wouldn't hate if they're trying to move Marvin Bagley. I mean,
JJ Redick, Lonzo.
They could just call him like a bust.
Of course, JJ Redick. He's on like everybody's free agent.
JJ Redick wants to be everywhere.
Yeah, at once.
He's everywhere. He's only missed the playoffs once his entire life.
I think the best case scenario, honestly, is like how old is Drummond right now? Is he 30?
Look, I'm saying we should go after Drummond.
So this is what the write up on Andre Drummond, right? This is from yardbreaker.com. Andre Drummond is having a surprisingly good season across the board, averaging 18 points per game and an NBA high 14.7 rebounds per game, while also being second in defensive rating, third in defensive win shares, and top 10 in steals per game, and top 20 in blocks per game. Oh, and he has a top 10 usage percentage, currently ahead of the likes of Kevin Durant, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Donovan Mitchell. He's deserving of all-star consideration, but at the same time, he's an expiring free agent and somewhat redundant now that Jarrett Allen is a Cavalier. Thus, don't be surprised if contenders like the Clippers and Nets inquire into Drummond's availability. Now, this is another reason why I actually really like him is because of his expiring contract, right? You get him for the trade exception, right? Yes, the trade exception goes away, but he's off your books.
Yeah.
So it's like you still can maneuver around with that. You don't have the same salary cap space. I don't think you probably would lose money from that, but like if you're trying to win a championship, right, and you need a center, if you bring him in here, right? And he's an expiring contract. You can sign him. You can go over the cap to sign him because he is your player.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be great. I mean, I like Andre Drummond a lot. I think he brings a lot.
And then you'd have him and Tristan back together.
Play. That's what I'm saying. You know, you put them back together, see what they could do. It would probably take Tyson, maybe Bob, to get him. I don't know.
Does the age worry you
No,
at all?
I think it would take. I don't even think they would want a center back because they're trying to clear centers right now. They have a log jam back there.
Yeah.
I think you could put like Romeo Langford and like Nesmith and just like a first rounder.
Probably the pick.
Yeah, like a
first round.
You know, like a first rounder, like this year, like whatever, like it doesn't matter. And then it's like you have a good starting lineup, and that's the thing with the Celtics is just like, where are they going? That's my question for you guys. Is like besides Drummond or Aaron Gordon, there's not many big men out there that I'd be like hell, or Blake Griffin even, that I'd be like hell yeah, let's get him.
Yeah.
And like there's other players I'd be like yeah, let's get him, but I'm not giving the trade exception for him. You know, like I'd be okay with any of those players on the list. I'd be okay with, but I'm not using the trade exception for. And I think people also forget that if you want somebody that makes that much money, we either have to give up Kemba or the trade exception because we don't because our team. That's the other issue is our team is so young and they're not valuable enough.
Well, then if you go draft a point guard, you can trade Kemba.
But what I was saying is our team is so young, right? And they're not valuable enough yet, right? The young players. And their contracts are so low that like we would have to trade like 7 of our bench players just to like equal one of those players. And then we'd have a bunch of vet minimum players and that would be even worse. You know, there's a reason they're not on NBA teams right now because they're not that good.
Yeah, facts. I'm just saying that I think the Celtics are going to bounce back because like I said earlier in our group chat, I don't think that the Celtics are a bad team.
No, they're
just put in an unfortunate circumstance.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do NBA trade machine. Right
and now. I think that they have, like just a few things didn't work out. Like they went out and got Jeff Teague off the bench, like not working. Yep. They went out and got Tristan Thompson. He's working out just fine. Like he's doing whatever he has to do. They drafted Nesmith and he's playing, but he's not fitting that first round potential. I feel like it's just really unfortunate what's going on with the team. Smart's out. Like they can't leave Williams out there too long. Price gets into foul trouble.
Yes.
I just think that they are a good team, and like I said, they're literally 2 games out of being 10th to 4th place. And I think that they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to do just fine. And if at the deadline they go off and find a guy that could be the center for us, if they trade for Drummond, then I would say that the parade's back on. I really would.
So I'm doing NBA trade machine right now. And why won't it let me use the trade exception on Drummond? Oh, he makes just a little bit more, doesn't he? He makes $250,000 more.
That's stupid.
So that's another thing. So Drummond we cannot get unless we trade Kemba Walker, according to Trade Machine, because he makes $200,000 more than the trade exception. So I'm gonna do this. I want to actually do the Trade Machine. Give me a player that you actually like we'll say Aaron Gordon, right? Is that somebody we'd be or Vucevic? Either one of those.
I'd be happy with Aaron Gordon.
So Aaron Gordon, trade exception works. What would you? Let's play this game. What would you guys think it takes? I think Langford has to be in there, 100%.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Semi goes in there too.
Semi.
Langford, Semi.
He's so jacked.
Carson Edwards, I'll throw in there.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And probably Aaron Nesmith.
Maybe. I don't know if we need that. I don't know if we'd have to throw
for Aaron Gordon, though. I don't know. He's got 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah, but I'm saying that they're going to be getting all that money. They're going to be getting Romeo, who's always been a flash name. I don't know. I don't think we'd have to get rid of Nesmith, to be honest.
Well, I feel like we'd have to give someone else because if I'm the Magic, Romeo Langford, Semi Ojeleye, and Carson Edwards, I don't think is enough.
Draft pick
and money.
Let's give them Tremont Waters because we're gonna sign Isaiah Thomas. They can have him too. Try this trade. This trade has failed. Okay, we have to cut. We have to cut.
Try this trade. They did not accept. So no, they wouldn't accept it actually.
Well, no, it was cap space. We got Aaron Gordon, And then what did we say we're doing? Nesmith, Langford. Let's throw in Daniel Tice. That would probably do it.
This eggplant Rolantini.
I'm
Nice.
hungry.
And
Stop,
Tremont
I
Waters.
need to go
All right, so we got
eat.
Tremont Waters, Nesmith, Langford, Daniel Tice.
Stop.
All right, so we still need to 1 million, so we're going to throw in Semi. So basically, to make the salary cap work, for those wondering if they want Aaron Gordon, it's going to take you Daniel Tice. Wait, why is it? It says
Salam.
cut 1 million
They're just
from the
giving it to him for
Celtics.
free.
Free stuff.
Trade. We have to trade another million? Like what? Like okay.
Clearly, this
So
isn't
listen.
working.
So listen. So this is the
Fucking
package.
Gordon.
I'm sure we could package other things around, but this would be an ideal package because they would actually be getting some young players that they actually want and some like this is probably a haul for Aaron Gordon. But just to make the salaries match up, it's Daniel Tice, Romeo Langford, Nesmith, Tremont Waters, Semi Ojeleye, and Jeff
I wouldn't
Teague.
do that. I would.
I
never.
wouldn't either. I'm just saying that's what I had to do to make the salary caps match up, because which doesn't make sense to me. I don't think Trade Machine is using the trade
I
exception
don't think so either. No.
because like you use the trade like we could just do. Yeah, it says we need to cut 9 million coming in. I don't think that's right.
What
So
does
I
that-
think Trade Machine's broke
that
because it
doesn't make
says the
sense.
exceptions there, but I'm pretty sure when you have the exception, you can get any player that's under that. But I think you
Yeah.
have to use. Do you have to use the whole exception though?
Yes.
I forget how it works. I think you would have to. I think that's what it has to be. I think you have
we
to
could
like.
probably we'll figure that out. We could put that on to the next episode.
We definitely could because
about
that's what I was thinking about. But I want to get to the Patriots because I think.
I just want to make one point before
Yeah.
we get to the Patriots
Yep.
about the Red Sox.
Oh God.
Ooh,
About the Red Sox.
let's hear it.
Yeah, I know you're editing this now, so zoom in on my face here.
No.
Take-
Too much
take-
work.
Take
Sorry.
a timestamp. Take a timestamp.
Too much
Zoom in on my
work.
face. Look, just look at me.
That's a Bobby thing for the headliner. It's too much work.
Red Sox fans. Stop. Stop it. Like, you are the most unbearable people I've ever met or seen in my entire existence. I just don't understand how you can be so miserable for a team that has won you so many rings in
Facts.
such a short amount of time
Yep.
that you need to cry and complain.
I just
about
hate the
all
sport right
people
now.
that they're just letting go. Like, Mookie Betts was never going to come back. All right? Pour the salt into your water and drink it. Mookie Betts was never going to come back. Andrew Benintendi has been horrible for the past 2 years, and they gave up way too much for a guy that they think still has a ceiling. We ended up getting a guy out of that trade who immediately posted a picture of all Red Sox Dominican greats and said he wants to be one of them. So and then everybody just kept commenting on the picture saying, "Oh, we want Benintendi. We're gonna miss Benny." Blah blah blah. Like, shut up. This guy wants to be here. The Red Sox are getting people that want to be here. Complain about Kike Hernandez more, I guess. I don't know. Like,
That's going to be, honestly, though, like, I'm mad at the sport. I still watch Red Sox.
the Red Sox are going to be
But
good. Like, I don't
Kiki
think
Hernandez, that's going to be a name that's going to be remembered in Boston.
people don't understand this.
Hopefully,
But
yeah.
the Red Sox are going to be good. Not only did you get Alex Cora back, Chris Sale is coming back. He's getting pushed and pushed more. Like, he's healthy. Erod's coming back. He didn't get to play at all year. We signed Arvitino from the Yankees, which was, I mean, we traded for Arvitino from the Yankees, which is absolutely insane that they actually traded with us. We got that setup guy that everybody complains that we never had.
Yeah.
Yep.
And found a way to say, he's not the setup guy I wanted. Like, how?
Yeah, it's like a kid
how?
being like, I didn't get the 2 terabyte Xbox. You only
Yeah.
got me the 1 terabyte Xbox.
Yeah, I like cake, but I wanted chocolate. Like,
Yeah.
that's literally, like, it's
First world problems.
infuriating. it's one of the most painful things to say that I'm a Red Sox fan because it molds me in with all of those terrible complainers, those old head idiots that just think that they know the entire sport because they've.
And that's why the sport's dying.
That's why that's why it's dying, because old people that think they know what they're talking about, and they're just gonna complain about losing all the things that we lost and we loved. No, the Red Sox are gonna be fine. The parade's still on for me. Go Sox. Let's go to the Patriots. God.
Well, I'm actually going to tease everybody and tickle them a little bit. We're going to save the Patriots till next week because we are coming up on time.
I wish you tickled me.
I will. I want to get.
Dad joke?
I want to get to kind of some closing thoughts really quick.
You have a dad joke now.
Before we get to the dad joke, I want to talk one more thing about the Boston Celtics, the Bruins, just everything in general. In Boston, we love our sports, and we understand that a lot of other cities and franchises do not get to have first of all, they don't get to have as many championships as us, but also the fact that we've had this many championships and continue to have good teams even when we're not there is such a good thing. Like, imagine, you don't know what's the worst city right now for sports? Detroit. They have the Pistons, the Lions, the Red Wings, and the Tigers. None of them are good right now. The last time you could they're the new Cleveland.
The last time you could say that Detroit was like Boston in a winning manner was the 60s.
Yep.
So let's just stop for a second and then just be appreciative for what we have. And also, one more thing about Kyle Bloom, everybody needs to stop about him too, because he came in here, right? Inherited nothing. He came in here to absolutely nothing.
No picks.
And now built
prospects.
Building our farm. He's building our farm system back, right? He's getting money back.
He did what Dombrowski had to do when we got rid of Sherrington.
Listen, I want my Pawtucket back.
And he's not just gonna get all this money back and spend it immediately. It's his second year. It's not even a real second year. This is essentially still his first.
You also have to understand with Chaim Bloom too is the same thing as when Dombrowski came here, he also had to build up the farm because Sherrington traded a bunch of stupid players around for nothing. And then Dombrowski was aggressive and got the right pieces, and it won us rings, right? So whatever. Now we're here with Chaim Bloom. He needs to build the team up again from the ground up. So I think that. Brady, let's hear the dad joke. We're going to save Patriots for next week, but another side note, if you are in the Dad's Den, we are doing Rebuilding the New England Patriots. As of right now, I'm going to give you a quick little update on what we have decided as a group. This is not me. This is what we have decided as a group.
I kind of like as what we've decided.
Yes. So I'll walk you through it. We used our first round pick. Jalen Waddle ended up sliding to 15. A lot of people didn't think it would happen, but he actually did, because when you watched me and Brady's mock draft episode, he did slide. He had an opportunity to slide. He went 7. The only reason he went there is because the Eagles are there. I don't even know if they'll do that. So he could slide. If the Eagles don't take him there, he's sliding. Round number 2, we ended up taking Kyle Trask, the quarterback from Florida. And then in the 4th round, we haven't done the other rounds yet just because we're going by position. We selected Dylan Reduns, the offensive tackle from North Dakota State University. Big boy, should go in the 2nd or 3rd round, but could slip. Another one who slips there. We re-signed David Andrews to a 4-year, $56 million contract, bringing him back here. We drafted the players I just talked about. And we had 2 big free agent acquisitions, or 2 minor free agent acquisitions, depending on how you look at it. Marvin Jones Jr. for a 2-year, $18 million contract. Nice cheap deal for a veteran. And then Mitch Trubisky coming here on a 2-year, $20 million contract to be the starting quarterback for the Patriots.
I want Mitch. I'd like to have Mitch.
I
want Mitch to succeed.
And for a little sneak peek, because I haven't posted it because it's not Monday yet, this is what we have. Wide receiver number 2 for this week. We have 4 options. We have number 1, trade Edelman to Tampa Bay for a 4th round pick. Number 2, retain Edelman and do nothing. Number 3, draft Shee Smith from South Carolina in the 3rd round. Number 4, sign Rashad Higgins to a 2-year, $14 million contract. So that is it for that. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. We'll release the entire team, and what we'll do is when we do finally have the team, we'll go through it We'll look at the position and we'll see if we missed anything, if there are any holes on the team. And if we have money left, maybe we'll do it on the podcast, us three, and we'll decide to fill. Let's say we have $5 million left. Let's see what we can do with that. We'll try to fill the hole. But that's where we're at. If you're not in the Dad's Den, please join it. Ask one of us three. If you don't know us, literally just leave a comment, and then we'll message you. Leave a comment, do whatever. Follow us on Facebook. We'll add you into the group. There's many ways to do it. Get hungry. Go after it. Figure it out. We'll get you in there, and you'll be a part of this too every single week. Now we got the dad joke.
So first, I just want to bring up the big names in sports entertainment right now. Free agency. One of the biggest free agents
I saw
on
that.
the planet right now. Paul White, a.k.a. The Big Show, has just signed to All Elite Wrestling for a
We should get him on
deal
here.
and left the WWE, as he should. I'm proud of you, Big Show. Fuck Vince. He's a horrible person. And now the dad joke. How does a normal joke become a dad joke?
Fatherhood.
Close enough. It becomes apparent.
Ah!